What's up guys, Burden here from AddictGaming.com, and today I'm going to show you a support Elementalist build that I have been working with lately. So as always, if you want a more in-depth look at the build, check out our site at AddictGaming.com. I will go into more detail about the skills and kind of how the whole build works. But for the video, I just want to do a quick overview, and then we will I will jump into some PvP and then explain to you what I'm doing and give you it'll give you a better idea of how this build works and if it's a build that you would want to try out. So let me talk about the overall goal of the build real quick. Okay, so it's a very heavy support build through heals and regeneration and condition removal. You'll actually be surprised how much condition removal this build has. It's kind of ridiculous. When we go through the traits, you'll understand that this build, for a team to bring a build like this into tournament play or a 5v5, this is a great build to have with you, just because the condition removal is just insane. It's really out of control. So let's look at the traits real quick, and I'll try to get you to understand everything that's going on and kind of how it ties together. For Earth, gain 1 toughness per level while attuned to Earth, so we get 80 extra toughness while we're attuned to Earth. Gain Armor of Earth when health reaches 50%. Armor of Earth is, if you don't know, is grants you stability and protection for about 8 seconds. Armor of Earth is really good for stomping your opponents when they're down or rezzing allies, because it gives you the stability so you can't be interrupted, and it also gives you the protection. So usually when you're trying to resurrect an ally, there are people laying down AoEs and stuff like that trying to damage you more, so even if you get your ally up, you're also at low health, so the protection will help with that. For water, I want to start backwards actually. Cleansing water in the third tier. Remove a condition when granting regeneration to yourself or an ally. And this is where a lot of our condition removal will come from, is granting regeneration to our allies. We'll get that through runes and traits as well, and you'll see. The second one, cantrip mastery. Cantrips recharge 20% faster. You'll notice all utilities are cantrips, so that makes sense. Healing Ripple, heal nearby allies when attuning to water. So if you look at Arcana, the first trait in Arcana, we grant regeneration while attuning to water as well, which, if you remember from cleansing water, we cure conditions when we applied regeneration. So when we attune to water, we're healing, applying regeneration, and curing a condition on allies. So we're getting 3 things when we attune to water. The first trait in water is Soothing Disruption, and this is cantrips grant you regeneration and vigor. So each cantrip we use, every time we use a cantrip, we remove a condition on ourselves, but not on our allies. But the vigor is actually really important because vigor is endurance regeneration, which will help us dodge more. And if you look at our third trait in Arcana, create an attunement-based spell at the end of your dodge. And if you look at the water, it's Cleansing Wave. And what Cleansing Wave is it heals, and it also removes the conditions. So with the extra vigor, with the vigor we get, we'll have a lot more endurance to dodge more, and we could be dodging to remove conditions as well. And I think the only one I didn't cover is the second trait of Arcana, which is Blasting Staff. Area attacks with staff are larger. Of course, we are using a staff, and for like the healing rain, it'll pretty much cover a whole control point with the Blasting Staff. We also get lingering elements. Attunement bonuses linger for 5 seconds, so we'll have a lot of boons on, and they'll actually be applied for a lot longer. And then the other minor traits aren't really that important. So let's just move over to the runes. For the runes, I'm using Rune of Duena, and probably makes the most sense to use because we get the extra healing, the extra regeneration duration. And then for the 4-set bonus, we have another chance to gain regeneration when we're hit. So that's another condition removal. That's on ourselves. But the 6-set bonus, when you use a healing skill, you and all nearby allies gain regeneration for 5 seconds. And when we get regeneration to ourselves or our allies, we're also removing conditions. So I think I've given you about 4 ways we remove conditions already from ourselves or our allies. And if you one important skill, we'll just go over this for the sorry. I skipped ahead. The amulet, I'm using the cleric's amulet, power, toughness, healing power, and then the shamash jewel for the extra toughness. The staff, I'm just using burning duration. The thing about sigils is there's not really good support sigils. You could do, I don't know, you could do maybe extra damage. I don't know because we're not really doing any damage. There's it kind of sucks that support skills or support builds are kind of left out when it comes to sigils. There's not really much to grab there. Um, for water, there's a few skills I'll talk about real quick, and then I'll just jump into the PvP, and you can see. Healing Rain is the most important skill we have. This gives us and our allies regeneration in an area for 6 seconds. Uh, Healing Rain alone cures conditions every 3 seconds. So Healing Rain cures 2 conditions, and the regeneration cures a condition. So this actually cures 3 conditions on ourselves and an ally. So more condition removal. And then Geyser is a heal. It's a decent heal. I mean, it's not great or anything. The size of the area is actually kind of small too, so it could be hard to hit your allies. Let's look at fire. Remember with number 5, I just wanted to show you this real quick. Your 5 AoE, you don't have to finish the cast. As long as it starts going, you see the animation, you can stop. And then that's it. That's all you need to do. Don't sit there and cast the whole thing. We'll jump over to lightning. Number 5, static field, is probably the most important one in this. Actually, I guess there's a couple important ones in lightning, but number 5 is really good. Say there's a downed enemy, and then you could put number 5 around them, so none of their allies can get in. If the allies try to get in, they're going to become stunned. Or if you're trying to trap somebody, I mean, it's really nice. So I like to put it. Say I'm capturing a point, and then I see someone running up. I like to put it around them, so they get stunned, and then it gives me more time to like either neutralize or capture a point. The other 2 important skills are actually number 4 removes conditions as well. It removes it removes specific conditions: cripple, immobilize, and chilled. Gust is a knockback. This is really important for if your ally's about to be stomped, or you're trying to push someone out of a control point. So Gust is pretty important for that. And then number 2, lightning surge. It's like an AoE blind, so that's also an important support skill. And then we'll go to Earth. Earth, if you're taking heavy damage from like a ranger or a thief with a short bow, number 3 is a good skill to use. So you'll just reflect the projectiles. And then you have cripple from unsteady grounds. It's kind of a weird shape, but it's something like that. You could put it, when you first go into a fight, I like to put it in between me and the enemies. So if they're trying to get to me, they'll have to cross it, kind of thing. Or they'll have to dodge and waste a dodge. And then the number 2 is it's just a quick bleed in an area. And then just one thing before I hop into PvP and show you. One thing I wanted to talk about is some people will tell you when you go Arcana traits, you have a faster attunement switching because the cooldown's reduced. They'll tell you to just go into an attunement and spam your skills, and then go into another attunement and then spam all your skills. Go into another attunement and do the same thing. But I mean, don't do that. Just learn every single skill. Elementalists have the most skills. They have 20 skills compared to 10 that most people have. Engineers might have 15 if they bring 2 kits, and it will take a while to learn the Elementalist because there's just more skills, and you need to develop the muscle memory. So when a situation happens and you're like, oh man, I really need a pushback, I need a knockback, to go into lightning and then use your number 3, use your gust to knock someone back. Or it's like, oh, I really need to put some healing down right now. you know to go into water, put down your healing rain, and put down your geyser. So develop the muscle memory. Don't just spam. Learn what each single skill does, and that'll really help you out. Um, I think the two things I didn't touch on are the heal. The heal I'm using Glyph of Elemental Harmony, and then just for the sake, it might give me regeneration or protection. And then the elite, I'm using Glyph of Elementals. Always, for me anyway, always be in water when you're using your elite because you'll summon the ice elemental, which will throw out more heals. So, all right, let's jump into some PvP, and then I can explain to you. I'll do some fighting, and then show you how the build works. Okay, so I hop into this game, and the score is pretty close, but the enemy actually has both control points, and they're going for mine. So I rush over to mine, and I start throwing my water AoEs down, especially my healing rain and geyser. I do those first, trying to get some heals and some condition removal onto the point, and helping out my teammate that's already there. I try to get off my fire AoE, but I end up getting interrupted. And now I see my teammate go down, so I pop off my Armor of Earth and I go and try to res him because it gives me stability, but unfortunately the enemy team took him down. Now I'm getting focus fired, so I pop into my mist form just to kind of kite them around, and while they were focusing on me, a thief came in actually and did his elite, and they were all pretty low already and actually finished all of them off. So it was about a 4 versus 3. Well, it was a 4 versus 2 at the start, then turned into a 4 versus 3, and then actually we were able to finish them off and take the point. Now this game is on Temple of Silent Storms. I get in there and I throw my static field down to try to get some stuns off, and then I switch over to water and throw my AoEs down again, trying to get some heals onto the point. Now I saw a warrior was trying to 100 blades me, so I made sure to pop into mist form to evade all of that damage. And again, I'm starting to get focus fired a little bit. I throw down my heal, and then I'm trying to throw down my water AoEs. And I realize I'm in some trouble right now, so I back out a little bit and I summon my elite, my ice elemental, which will do some damage and healing for me as well. So now I can get back into the fight. I healed up a little bit, and now I'm gonna come back and try to help my allies out. So I switched back to water again, throwing down my water AoEs, and now this thief comes from behind, and he's trying to focus me down, but every time I dodge in water form, I get cleansing waves, so I'm removing the conditions he's trying to apply onto me. Now it's getting a little messy, and you can see I'm getting a lot of conditions again, getting focus fired again, so I pop into this form, and basically while they're trying to focus me down, my teammates are able to finish them off. And you can see this thief the whole time has been trying to nuke me down, but because of the way I'm built, there's no way that he's going to be able to do that. So now we took down the thief, and I throw down the static field around him to actually prevent the warrior, his teammate, to come and try to res him. So now the thief stealthed away, and then the warrior was trying to run down to resurrect him, but ended up actually dying himself. So now my team's gonna get this point, and we're actually down by quite a bit. So I'm gonna run over to. I switched to lightning so I can get the speed increase, the swiftness, and then I'm gonna run over to Temple and see what I can do there. Hopefully no one's there. I could just capture it right away, then maybe head over to Altar. Now, while I'm on the point, I get my static field ready because if someone runs in, I want to be able to stun them, so they can't stop me from getting the point. But I keep hearing the sounds, and then a thief and a warrior drop out of nowhere with one of my teammates following them. So then I drop my static field down to stun them, and then my warrior drops the thief right away. My warrior teammate drops the thief right away. So now I'm gonna switch over to water because my warrior teammate is basically doing all the damage now. So I threw down a few AoEs with my water, switched over to fire to help my warrior teammate out, just to do a little bit of burning, a little bit of damage. And then we finished this warrior off, and then the point is ours. So now it's 2 points to 1. So now I'm just gonna switch over to water, throw down a little heal for my teammate, just in case another person decides to come. And so now I was planning on heading over to altar, but I ended up seeing gate being attacked. So I think my warrior friend is still a little ways behind me. He's not too close, but I throw my static field down just to keep them inside the point. While I could throw down a few my AOE blinds and then knock back. I probably shouldn't have used that just yet, but I actually didn't think my teammate was going to be coming so quickly. So I switch over to earth to throw down a few bleeds, and then now I need to go into water. And again, this thief is coming at me, trying to nuke me down, but that's not going to happen. But he did end up interrupting my heavy rain, which is a big deal because my heavy rain will do a lot of condition removal on the point and really help out my teammates. So he actually did some good, but I mean he's been trying to nuke me down this whole game. I don't know what he's gonna realize when he's not gonna be able to. So I actually do start taking damage between him and the warrior, or between him and the guardian. Sorry. So I throw my armor of earth down and then go into my mist form. So I can heal up now. I switch back to water. I go to rest my teammate, but he actually gets up because I think the thief was the one who was stomped. And then I can throw my AoE heals down. I actually didn't even see my teammate go down right there, and then he ended up getting stealth stomped. So that was a mistake on my part. I should have been paying more attention to that. So I go over to earth so I can throw a few more bleeds down and a little cripple, and then fire. I'm gonna throw some damage down, and now I want to go back to water to start healing and help my allies. You can actually see the fight went on for so long that one of our teammates died, and then was actually able to run back and then join the fight at the end. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned a little something about the Elementalist class, and if you like playing support, then this is a great build for you to play. Just try it out and let me know how it goes. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them below or visit our site. I have a more in-depth guide that I write up. I do this for every build. I write a more in-depth kind of perspective into things. I talk about each skill, what they do exactly, and kind of how to use it. So visit the site, check it out. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave them down below or go to our forums and leave one there. This has been Brandon from AddictGaming.com, and I'm here to remind you that gaming addiction is not a bad thing. So